Welcome back to the Squamish Lil'wat Cultural Centre in Whistler. I'm your Sea to Sky host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. How far can a little change go in your pocket? Well, I tell you, a little jingle can go a long way. Donate to the world's largest tip jar and help the BC Hospitality Foundation make the lives of their workers a little better.
Natalie St. Pierre has worked at the Pan Pacific Hotel for more than a decade and was named Employee of the Year in 2010. That was also the year she received some devastating news.
I had an appointment at the BC Cancer Agency. I went for a biopsy at the beginning of February 2010. I went there to have the result and they told me I have breast cancer. They told me I have to stop walking right away and starting the treatment.
Hi Natalie, how are you?
Hello Louisa.
Good, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Can I help you with anything here?
Louisa Robb is Natalie's supervisor and friend and was there the day Natalie was diagnosed.
It broke our hearts. We were just very concerned because this is a devastating news for everyone, and we offered her all our support, and right away we started thinking, what can we do? What can we do to help her?
Louisa and her colleagues organized a fundraiser for Natalie and told her about the BC Hospitality Foundation, which offers financial assistance to those in her industry faced with critical illness or injury. Natalie's application was successful.
When we found out about Natalie, the Pan Pacific was doing a fundraiser to help her. They raised about $8,000 and we matched the funds that they raised up to $5,000. And when we came and gave her the check, the amount of employees that came out and applauded Natalie because of the struggle that she's been going through, that you really sort of think, this is why we do this.
I was 18 months without working, so it's 1.5 years, no income coming, so that helped me. That gave me the chance to heal properly.
Excellent.
Yes,
You
yes.
look great, and it's just...
Thank you. To know we have an organization like that to help us, that was fantastic. And since then, we get involved too.
They're getting involved by contributing to the BC Hospitality Foundation's Tip Out to Help campaign, which aims to raise $150,000 during the month of October.
When people really need the money, that $5,000, that $15,000, that wheelchair, that thing that we do, the letters that we get, the cards that we get, the response that we get is unbelievable. This is why we do this. The true excitement for everybody is the fact that we can actually give something back.
You never know when something might strike. You never know if you will ever need this foundation, but just to have it here or have it available is wonderful. We'll bring you in slowly and gradually.
It's an unbelievable organization. I think everything we can do to help family.
The family of fellow colleagues at the Pan Pacific who are all happy to have Natalie back. In Vancouver, I'm Kendall Harris for The Express.
This looks wonderful. Good job.
If you want to help out people like Natalie, throw your toonie into the cause and visit tipouttohelp.com. There are numerous exhibits to explore here at the Squamish Lil'wat Cultural Centre, including the new weaving exhibit, the canoes in the Great Hall, and historical artifacts. Another popular showcase, the Squamish Arts Council building, and this month they're into the woods.
The lines between reality and imagination are kind of blurred when you're in the forest. You see so many things that aren't really there.
Inspired by the woods, Martians, Styx dresses, and birds' nests have all come together in an artistic showcase in downtown Squamish.
When you look around, the diversity of mediums being explored in artistic practice is quite evident.
On display at the Squamish Arts Council building, the aptly named Into the Woods exhibit explores Squamish's long relationship with the forest.
Into the Woods is reflecting on our local Squamish culture, which is a natural forest world, and our industrial forestry heritage.
What was once a thriving logging town is now evolving into a place that is bursting with artistic talent.
We have 30 artists here in the exhibit. 21 of them are local artists.
One of those artists, a local gold and silversmith, is on site every Saturday and can often be found hammering away on a piece of silver.
It's a real fun process to do this. So all I'm doing is spreading the metal and it just naturally forms into a ginkgo leaf. And so it's all meant to be.
A focal point in the exhibit is a wooden character like no other, known as Martian Logger Looking for Work. The storyline to go with the character can often be heard on Saturday, being told by its creator, Martin Thorne, who has various pieces on display.
It's great that I get to do my artwork and showcase my artwork and that, but it's more about the interaction with the community.
Squamish-born exhibit curator Christina Egide is also a participating artist. Although her work is displayed internationally, it's rare to find her pieces on display in her hometown.
As humans, we're predisposed to a fascination with nature and to growth and continuity, and there's so many ways to interpret that.
Into the Woods is now an annual event that continues to grow and explore Squamish's ever-evolving relationship with the forest. I'll never look at a forest in the same way. Jewelry, sculpture, dolls. The Into the Woods exhibit is on display every Saturday until mid-November. We've been exploring gifts of the earth. Now what about the sky? After the break,
as the planet passes in front of the star,
what can stars tell us about the sun?
Some of the light. This is essentially an eclipse that's going on.
Travel along with us as we explore beautiful British Columbia on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Wednesdays, 6 and 10 p.m. on Shaw TV's The Express.
Welcome back to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your Sea to Sky host, Nicole Fitzgerald. Traditional and contemporary Lil'wat baskets have come together for the largest display of its kind. Even bigger, the universe. Now, how are you going to map that out? Well, they do it at the H.R. Macmillan Centre.
Now, I'm sure you all know all the fantastic things that Canadians have invented over the years, things like the zipper, the paint roller, and frozen food. But Raminder and myself are going to talk about a Canadian invention that is more along the fields of astronomy. There's a Canadian invention, a telescope called?
MOST.
MOST. And MOST stands for?
Micro Variability and Oscillations of Stars.
I'm glad that they have an acronym for that. Now, MOST is a satellite that was developed and based at UBC.
So it's based by the Canadian Space Agency, and one of its headquarters is at UBC. It's a space-based remote-controlled telescope, and it doesn't take any pretty pictures like the Hubble Space Telescope does. It's just another fancy light meter.
A light meter. So how does that work as far as making discoveries?
It stares at stars and it determines the amount of light coming in from the stars, and it waits until, say, a planet passes in front of the star.
Okay, so I'm going to be the sun.
Okay, so over here we have a hypothetical planet. For example, the sun could be Jupiter.
All right, now you are MOST and you're staring at this star, right? The sun that would be around
somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So as the planet passes in front of the star, notice it blocks out some of the light. This is essentially an eclipse that's going on. And then it crosses, and the amount of light continues to be normal. MOST is one of the most sensitive light meters ever constructed. If it was on the Earth and it was staring at a street lamp, it could probably detect a mosquito or even a small insect at many, many kilometers away.
The reason that MOST is so exciting is that because probably something you've heard in the news as well, which is exoplanets. Now, exoplanets are planets that revolve around
other
stars. So for them, that would be their sun, right? As the Earth is around our star, our sun. And MOST has found a really neat one, right?
Yeah, it's discovered the densest planet in our galaxy so far that we know of.
Cool. And how dense is it?
It's essentially a planet made of solid lead.
Ooh, geez. Right. So, and it's very hot on this planet because it's very close to its star.
It's an Earth-like planet, but that's where the similarities end.
Right.
It's slightly larger than the Earth, but it's over 8 times heavier.
Oh, geez. So now, if I happen to be living on this dense planet, which is called
55 Cancri E.
Ooh, and again, a very interesting name for it. The sun, its star, would be huge, right? It would be like if I was holding a dinner plate up above my head here on Earth. That's how big the sun would look if I was on this dense planet. Now here on Earth, of course, I can block the sun out with my thumb because it's very small. So again, that kind of gives you an idea about just how close it is to that. And along with MOST, there's the Kepler space probe.
And then there's a Coral, which is a French mission as well.
Cool. And so over the next few years, we're going to be finding more and more of these exoplanets. And the hope is that maybe life is more common than we might think. Finding more of these planets around the star that's providing heat and light may provide those building blocks, those elements of being able to have life someplace out in space. Cool. For the Express here at the H.R. Macmillan Space Center, I'm Cam Cronin.
I'm Raminder Samra.
And there is a really neat Canadian connection to trying to find possible life out in space.
There's always stargazing going on at the center. Cam and Raminder are only too happy to answer any questions you may have. From space centers to First Nation showcases to the Britannia Mine Museum, the Express Spotlight has more. The perfect setting for ghosts and goblins. Explore old buildings and tunnels at the Britannia Mine Museum. Then make masks and carve pumpkins all weekend long. The arts are a barometer for the health and welfare of our community. Check in with the Squamish electoral candidates' views and visions at the Squamish Arts Council All Candidates meeting. Body-painted girls, nude ice sculptures, Cirque du Soleil performers. The Masquerade is back. Enjoy 40 award-winning wines and canapés produced by Canada's top chefs, including Melissa Craig, Vikram Beej, and Tojo, just to name a few. Who says Whistler's just a ski town? Food festivals, First Nations music. Squamish Lil'wat Cultural Centre is just one more reason to visit Whistler. And that wraps up this week's show. If you'd like to see more of our stories, just visit shawtv.com. From all of us on The Express, thanks for watching, and we'll leave you with a look at the arts.